So I stopped wasting time, and now I make over $1,000 a day as a 22-year-old. And by the way, that's coming from a lower middle class background. 5 years ago, I was in a really tough spot. I only had $400 in my bank account. I was lonely and I was depressed because I couldn't do any of the things I wanted because I had no money. And at the time, every day, I would hear my parents complaining about the price of bread, gas, electricity, literally of everything. I would see them breaking their backs only to earn breadcrumbs. My mother, for instance, was working as a nursing assistant and she had to deal with very violent patients. Alongside with her other female co-workers, they were taking care of drug dealers, thugs that got into knife fights with gangs, convicted felons, so as you can see, not exactly the friendly type. And with only a single security guard for the entire building, as you can probably guess, shit was bound to happen. Now when it comes to my father, who was working as a nurse, but since many years, he had fallen out of love with his job because he was treated like shit, like a pawn on the chessboard. He was making okay money, but just enough to pay bills, taxes and basic necessities, not enough to actually enjoy life. So growing up in the lower middle class, it made me hungry for so much more. And I knew if I wanted to build a profitable business, make money online, be able to travel the world, be free, I would need to work very hard because I came from nothing. But the issue is, at the time, I was a massive procrastinator because I think a lot, and so oftentimes it's very easy for me to just go into thinking mode and to not do anything at all. And so I knew back then, if I stayed as I was, a massive procrastinator, a perfectionist, then I would never achieve anything because achievements come through actions. And so by really just analyzing my own thoughts, by doing some deep introspection, I realized that the thing that was actually holding me back, the reason why I was procrastinating, why I couldn't force myself to take action no matter how badly I wanted to be successful, it was because I was actually afraid of rejection. As a child, I had been bullied like a lot by the other kids because I was different, because of the way I dressed, because of the way I sounded, because I was broke. And so I think that deep down on a subconscious level, that among many other things, affected me more deeply than I cared to admit. And so I was very afraid, I guess in a way, to recreate that same humiliation and traumatic experiences I had gone through in my childhood. I didn't want to fail in public because I would look like a fool, and I knew how painful that felt. I was afraid to reach out to potential customers to have them tell me to go fuck myself, essentially. But a business owner who can't handle rejection or fear of failure, they will never become successful. So I had to learn to overcome my natural tendency to procrastinate and to waste time in order to actually be able to scale to $1,000 a day. Now, something you really need to understand is that staying in your environment can actually limit your growth. If you can, move out, but most likely you might not even be in a position where you actually make enough money to be able to afford living in the place of your dreams. So growing up, because I wasn't surrounded by multi-millionaires, I was surrounded by average everyday people who could tolerate mediocrity, but I couldn't. So what I did essentially is that I would virtually surround myself with successful people. I would read all their books, watch all their videos, and that's how I started to reprogram my mind for success. I started to adopt the same beliefs and ways of thinking. So whereas most people around me, my parents for example, thought that $200 was a lot of money, for me it was nothing. Because if I thought $200 was so much money, how the hell would I ever make $2,000 a day, you know? Or if you think it's this huge thing which is so out of reach, you'll never achieve it. You have to first start thinking and behaving like successful people so you can make the amount of money that you want. You have to realize that procrastination hinders all your progress. It's better to do something imperfect rather than just do nothing at all and wait to maybe one day do things perfectly. And spoiler alert, that's not even possible. Perfection is a myth. Perfection can never be achieved because we can always do better. It's like when you look back to all the pictures of yourself, chances are you're like, oh my god, I looked like shit. Why did I wear that kind of clothing? Why did my hair look like that? It's good news. If you don't look back at what you did in the past and you don't cringe over it a bit, it means you haven't evolved, you just stagnated. And in reality, you don't stagnate. You either move forward or you move backwards, but the world will keep moving forward. So if you don't move forward with the world, you will be left behind. Instead, you want to take immediate action, even if you lack clarity, even if you're indecisive. It's better to make a decision, move forward, see what comes out of it, then stay indecisive, and then you do nothing and nothing happens. You can't move forward if you're not getting direct feedback. Just start taking some small steps towards your big goal. Start building momentum, and everything will get easier from there. You need to be less of a thinker and more of a doer. I'm not saying you have to stop thinking. I'll never be able to stop thinking. I'm still a massive overthinker, but nowadays I have a thought, I analyze it, and then I go straight into action mode. I take massive action because it's only by doing the things which are boring, the things that you're avoiding, that you will get exactly what you want. And you shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes because mistakes are a part of the learning process. It's essential to make mistakes so you get feedback and you move forward. It's like a lot of people, they try to start a business, but they can't come up with an offer. They can't pick a niche. Even though they have many ideas, just try with one. Stick with one for a few months, see what comes out of it. What do you have to lose? You're not married to your niche. You can always change, go into another niche, pitch, sell another offer, but at least try something. The guy who tries something, even if he fails, he will be so much further ahead than the person who doesn't even get started. Now look, you need to start exposing yourself to wealth and luxury more often. For most people, wealth and luxury, it's this incredible thing which is inaccessible. They put it on a pedestal. They want it really badly and they're fascinated by it, but they don't think they could have it for themselves. Whereas for wealthy people, luxury and wealth is a hygiene standard. When you walk into a room and everybody's making 10, 20, 30, 50k per month, $100,000 per month, that becomes a new norm. I mean, in my eyes, $10,000 is really not a lot of money. For most people, they would be shocked to hear me say that. They'd be like, how can you say that? $10,000 is so much money. And maybe as an individual, if you make $10,000 per month, you are technically speaking in the top 1% of earners in the world. But as a business, if you only make $10,000 per month, you're not even visible on the map, because that's how small of a business it is. By all tax organizations all over the world, you are considered an extremely small business. Even if you make $100,000 per month with your business, you are still considered a small company. I personally love going to Canary Wharf because it's typically a very expensive area of London, and the price to rent a studio in one of these big high-rise buildings, it's typically the same price of your average monthly salary for an average employee. So when you are around this kind of expensive shit, it makes you think bigger. When everybody around you pulls up in a Rolls Royce or in a brand new Mercedes car, it makes you rethink your money beliefs. You start to realize, wow, I need to step up my game because some people are out there making in a day what I make in a month. So when you surround yourself with ambitious people, with high achievers, it makes you want to do more. Because if you stay in your current environment, let's say you manage to make $10,000 to $15,000 per month, wow, you're hot shit, so you think you've mastered the game. But if you were to go to some place like Canary Wharf, Dubai, or even Los Angeles, like those places where people make a lot of money, you would realize you're a small fish in the pond. And being in this kind of environment makes sure you don't become complacent. Taking my example, when I went to Canary Wharf for the first time ever years ago, I saw lots of sports cars like Rolls Royces, Ferraris, McLarens, I saw Lamborghinis, like I saw everything. Whereas in the shithole of a town I grew up in, you'd never see that kind of stuff. You'd see average, small, tiny, shitty cars, and it's like people are just not ambitious. Everybody's content with mediocrity. And I could hear the conversations of people at the gym, in the neighborhood, even of the friends of my parents. All they would ever do is complain, speak about the price of things, like argue over the price of bread. I mean, come on. Some people are driving around in $400,000 cars, wearing $100,000 watches, but most people are stuck at the stage where they complain about the price of bread. You need to get to a level where it doesn't matter. And you have to stop thinking like a brokey. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. I have plenty of people who come to me because they need help building a profitable business and getting to 10 to 15k per month. And these people, they often tell me they've tried to do dropshipping with paid ads, but they lost all of their money. That's not a business model for beginners. You have to understand that. And they also tell me they've tried to invest a few $1,000s, sometimes all of their lifetime savings, into crypto or the stock market. But by doing that, they're essentially waiting passively that something external will make them wealthy. That will never happen. Forget about investing in real estate or crypto for now. First, you need to make more money. That's like step number one. And in order to be able to do that, you need to have the right knowledge and to follow a proven step-by-step process. Don't save money just for the sake of saving money. It keeps you broke. It keeps you in a scarcity mindset. You have to be willing to invest in yourself and to be coached by successful people who've got the sort of results that you want for yourself. Because by yourself, you don't know what you don't know. I can tell you for a fact, if I hadn't gotten help from certain people, I would have never been able to make upwards of $1,000 a day online from the comfort of my home with just a laptop and a steady internet connection. I would not be making this video today if I hadn't spoken with certain people and gotten their help. So if you're truly a committed, ambitious individual, you want more than the traditional 9-to-5 grind and 2 weeks of vacations per year. If you're committed to starting your business so you can become financially free, I've recorded a free video in which I'm going to share with you exactly everything I did to go from $0 to $1,000 a day in profit at 21, selling services and consulting online. That way, you can literally just copy me, or you can directly book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. The links will be in the description. Now you need to find a way to keep yourself accountable. I remember years ago watching YouTube videos about people waking up at 5 AM for 30 days because I thought if I watched people doing that, it would motivate me to do it too. And in some of these videos I remember, some of these people would literally have an app on their phone that would send $100 to charity if they didn't get up on time and turned off the alarm. Now at the time, with one of my friends, to keep ourselves accountable, we decided to basically create an Excel sheet where we would track what time we got up, what time we went to bed, our positive habits, how much we worked, and so on the left side of the page was his tracker and on the right side was mine. And so every day we could go in there and see what the other did. So if one was slacking off and the other was working hard, it would motivate the one who was slacking off to work harder. So it allowed us to stay accountable. Now in order to move forward, you need to set clear goals. If you lack clarity on exactly what you want, or maybe you know what you want, but you don't know how to get there, you won't be productive. 5 years ago, the reason why I struggled so hard to be productive, I would tell myself tomorrow I'm going to do the work, I'll change my life. But then I would wake up the next day and end up just watching YouTube videos instead of working. And it was because I didn't have a proven step-by-step process to follow. I lacked self-belief. I didn't think I could become successful. So the effort I was putting in, it wasn't that great because your actions typically come from your beliefs. If you don't believe you can make it, you won't take action, or if you do, you won't really give it your everything. And so of course the results that you get will be extremely disappointing. And that brings me to the next point. You have to deserve the results that you want. The truth is, the results you're currently getting in life come directly from the amount of effort that you put in and from your level of skill. To achieve more, you need to become the person who deserves more. Your potential is limitless, but nobody is going to come and save you. You have to make the decision to take back control over your life and do what it takes to become successful. You have to do the right thing and do it long enough to get what you want. So look, you need to make a choice now. You can keep watching YouTube videos on how to stop procrastinating or how to make money online, but doing that keeps you in a passive state. It won't make you more money. Or if you're ready to stop procrastinating, to build a business that will allow you to become financially free, you can check out the free resources in the description below or directly book a free call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. That being said, if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend, and together let's blow up this YouTube channel to empower ambitious individuals across the globe to become financially free.